All right, welcome everyone to another live trading session. Today is Tuesday, January the 30th. We have a few of our fellow Discord members in the room. So you guys jump in and with any questions if you have as we go on. Just for everybody else, if you want to participate in these meetings, you're more than welcome. Just join our Discord and you'll be invited as well. And let me just remove this to not take too much of the screen. So today is a live trading session. As you know, we generally do one trade per week. With my size account, if you have a larger account, you might be doing it, twice or three times a week. Or maybe if you have a smaller one, you might do it once every 2 weeks or something in that neighborhood. It doesn't really matter so long as you do it on a schedule so that it's randomly getting in on schedule without trying to time the market or anything. We just try to basically sell the premium that we determine we need to sell in order to achieve our goals as far as percentage yearly target return and all of those things. So before we go further, I just want to quickly give you some updates on the spreadsheet, because I think it's very interesting. The new spreadsheet version was released yesterday. A lot of people are trading 1-1x trade, 1-1-2, 1-1-1, and even though my Discord and my YouTube channel is about the unified options trading strategy, and that's what I concentrate mostly on, and that's what I do, I want to make sure that people are able to record their other trades if they want to use the spreadsheet. So to make it easier, I'm starting to add other strategies on the spreadsheet. So I'm going to keep the unified option trading strategy on the left here, naked puts, PDS, hedges, and all that. But we can start with 1-1x, and you can enter here. And this is very cool because you basically enter the whole trade here in one line, which is basically 2 rows covering both your put debit spreads, your naked puts, and then you can combine everything into a single profit and loss. Everything is done automatically. All you need to do is lightly blue colored cells. It's user input. Everything else, the formula will tell you how you're doing. Then the next super cool thing I would say is the realized returns, because I know that people have accounts that they don't want to dedicate a whole amount to the strategy, to the UOT strategy. So in case, let's say you have $100,000 account and you just want to run this on a $30,000 or $40,000, and you dedicate the rest of your account to different trades, then you can now do that and still be able to watch the performance, because my standard performance sheet takes the net lick and then runs everything based on the net lick, and then it's very hard to separate how your the actual UOT trade did versus other trades. But here with this new tab here, everything is done automatically. You basically come in and you say, okay, I'm going to dedicate 100,000 out of my whatever the amount is, or 50,000. It doesn't matter. Whatever the amount is, the spreadsheet will then automatically take all of your profits and losses here as they happen from the put debit spreads, from the naked puts. Everything is done automatically. You don't have to do anything other than input a date that you want to record what's happening. So it will take all of this. It will even take your hedges as you enter them, and then it will give you basically you see column E, F, and G tells you how each of those three separate wings are doing, the naked puts, the PDS, and hedges. And then it will give you your realized profit and loss, and then turn it into the indexed realized net lick. And then it will tell you, now this one just was done with 100,000, so it needs to just see. So, and then basically what you do is just once a week or once a day, however often you want to do, you just come in and you put in your date, and it will calculate the rest depending on what you have going on in those other tabs there. And by the way, this is a cool trick. One of the Discord members showed me the other day. It's basically just if you want to put a date, you just control and semicolon, and it will input the date inside automatically. So that's pretty cool. And oh, I'm sorry, we have some more people in the waiting room. What did I do? I didn't see people in the waiting room. I'm sorry. Invite. I'm sorry, guys. Did you get in now?
Yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see right away that you were in the waiting room. So we just went over the spreadsheet, but you'll be able to see that later on in the recording. Let's go back to my spreadsheet here and then start with the inputting whatever we have going on in the account. And we do that by checking the VIX, so 1340 at the moment. So 1340, then we can check our delta and theta, and those are at, let me just 30 and 16, pretty low, as we had some trades close ahead of schedule. But on the other hand, that leaves us with very little notional exposure and very little risk. As you can see, only 8.6 of the 0.6 of the buying power is used.
Delta is 30, no?
I didn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
Delta is 30.
Delta is 30. Let me see. What did I say? Oh, I'm sorry. So what did I do? I'm so...
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, we got it. All right. So looking over, so my parameters here, right now I'm running with a yearly target return of 20%, and that would be a little bit on a high side, aggressive side. This is without any income from the T-bills or any other passive income. This is just from the strategy, and I'm allocating 5% on top of that, those 20 for my hedging, weekly hedging. So basically, I'm targeting enough premium to be able to collect 25% and then spend 5% of that towards the hedging. And that will leave me with a 20% projected return over time. The last trade we collected 988, roughly weekly target is 970, but that fluctuates up and down. So without any much further, let's go and take a look what market is giving us today. And to do that, we start with going to ES, we go to trade tab, and we're going to look at closest to 90 without going under. So 91 would be perfect. And then we can go anywhere between 7 and 9. 8 would be like optimal, but we can move up and down as we need. So 937 here, and then we could go maybe to 9 here. There's more open interest here. Plus, we're getting a little bit more money. So let's go ahead and see if we can collect 20 here. Maybe we'll have to just pedal back a little bit. Maybe not. We'll see. It sounds like we will. And activity, where is it? It's right here. So we're going to replace this one. Go down. This is going to fill now, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So 1975, boom, done. That's it. And then the next step is go to MES, and we're going to go to 90, closest to 90 without going over. So 80 is fine. We go to around 35 delta. So anywhere in here would be fine, 34 or 37. We go down 75. And what we just want to make sure that we don't spend more than 20% of what we collected. Given that we collected 1975, we are well within that. We could be spending up to 1975 on 2 of the MESs, and that would keep us within 20%. We're going to up this to quantity 20. We're going to up this a little bit to get it closed, and boom, this is done. So that's it. we're done for the week, but we're going to go ahead and record this, and we're going to talk a little bit about the hedge that we placed on Friday. And by the way, if anyone would like the spreadsheet or participate in these live tradings, just join our Discord. Link will be in down below. And then also we'll be doing some mastermind sessions starting this Friday, and you'll be able to participate in those. To this one, the subject will be hedging. We'll talk about different things: why we hedge, what we hedge, are we over hedging, under hedging, and different things that not just specifically how to hedge, but just overall, we'll talk a little bit more. We'll go a little bit deeper into subject. So it'll be very cool. I'd like you to join. And let me see. We're going to go ahead and record this trade now. So to do that, we simply go to naked puts. We're going to call this one 43. This was ES. And strike, I don't remember, but we'll find out real quick. Let me just take a look here. Overview. So it was 44.50, 44.50, and we received what was it? 1975, I think. 1975. And then, oh, I'm sorry, date and entry was 91, and we received 1975, same as the last week. That gives us additional 220,000 in notional exposure, and that's it. And then we go to put debit spreads. We're gonna call this one 44. It's in MES. But some of you might have a portfolio margin, and you might choose to use the SPX with a SPY or XSP, and then you can do that as well. And to the state here, and let's see, the 4900 and 4825, and that was 80. I think I'll double check later, but we paid 1750, so minus 1750, and we did 2 of those. Okay, so this is now recorded, and this now we'll go back to the main page, and you will see how this now changed. It was just under 7. This is a notional exposure, and I think this is a very important metric to follow and to have as a for real risk awareness, you know, because it's very easy to get carried away. Your buying power is low, stays low, and you think you're doing fine, and then all of a sudden you realize, you know, you're 25x, 30x leveraged, and you might be overexposed. But here we can keep an eye on our exposure right here, front and center. So at 11, that's for, you know, being in futures, selling short futures. This is kind of I would say on a low side for most people, but we would like to keep this as low as possible. And some ways to lower it would be to include some hedges that are not, you know, very short term, like more of a at least I'm looking at it, at least if it has at least 7 days left in a hedge, I can count that notional exposure, the positive notional exposure that it brings me against this this exposure. So for example, I'm running here this this hedge, and this one has another 27 days to go, and that one is recorded here on the hedges as a long put, and it's bringing in 215,000 in notional exposure, but positive, and that's offsetting some of my negative notional exposure and helping me keep that number down. Any questions on that, guys? Rick, Thomas, anybody? Soda Junkie, you, who else is here? Let's see. JB is here. Welcome, Dave. Leo. Tell me, am I forgetting something that I should mention maybe?
Your question here, so the sword harvesting, that's harvesting from your...
Can you try speak a little bit louder, Sarah? I can't hear you really.
Okay, the sword harvesting is from the good deal straight part, right?
This short harvesting, yes.
Okay.
Was that question about short harvesting and notional exposure? I'm assuming that was the question, because that's what we talked about now, right? So what happens here is, let's say you have a put debit spread that we opened earlier, whatever, a couple of months before, and we have some extra money in our hedging budget. We can go ahead and close a short side of that put debit spread, and we're gonna put it here under little hedges as a short harvesting hedge, and that leaves us with a long MES or whatever long part of the put debit spread open, and we will count that notional exposure as well to help us here. So in this case here, we are just counting. Now, technically, we would be 75 points higher, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna count the lower side and multiply it by whatever instrument you're using, and then we're gonna take that as the positive notional exposure, because this one still has some time to go, another until 16th of February. So it's providing a little bit of extra protection. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Great. All right, guys. Anybody else? Anything at the moment?
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
The new formula 11x, the notional exposure is the sum of 112 and the UOTC or no?
This formula here we're talking about, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
if I remember,
Yes.
if I remember correctly, this formula only includes the notional exposure provided by the naked put. We do not count the little bit of protection that's done by put debit spread. That would be very little, and it's probably I wanted to stay on a more conservative side and not count this, but in any case, that would be very little comparing to this, so it wouldn't really probably make much difference.
Okay, but the sheet main and the notional exposure on the main is the sum of naked put, PDS, and the 112 or no?
Oh, no. This is only for yield strategy, because I can't well, I could, but I need to be careful, right? Right now, this main page here only covers the naked puts, put debit spreads, and hedges. That would be my whole strategy. And then additional strategies like 11X and whatever else we're gonna add later, it's not included in the main, because all of these numbers here pertain to the yield strategy. So I want to keep that separate, because that's what this is about. So yeah, it's not included in here, but that's why you can quickly take a look here on your 11X and see here what your notional exposure is with your 112s.
Okay, I have another question. Do you have an idea to put the two lines on the main and this sum, and put in this line sum of naked puts and the long puts, like Bobby had, on his spreadsheet?
Let me see. To count the
yes.
just
Sorry,
the number
my English is not fluent.
No, that's
I
fine.
never
That's
learned
fine.
English.
Don't worry.
Yes. I'm sorry. I never learned English. I only watch lots of Netflix movies. I never learned English. My English is not good, but I'm speak. Okay.
I think you're doing fine. I think you're doing just fine.
Yes.
And I think I know
Sum
what
of
you
naked puts. Yes. Sum of naked puts on the UOTC and the
right.
sum of the long puts or naked puts on 112. Okay.
Oh, you mean combine naked puts from all of the strategies?
Yes.
Okay. And are you talking about the notional exposure or just the number of puts?
Only number of puts, because I use black swan hedge.
Okay.
And I use short harvesting. I use GTC on long puts like the Bobby, but I don't have his spreadsheet. I use only your spreadsheet. And for me, your tool is better. Okay.
Thank you. I like that. I like Bobby and his stuff, but
yes,
yeah,
I'm
happy. But I really want to make this spreadsheet cover all of the bases over time, and that's why, as you can see, almost weekly I'm adding updates and adding things.
Yes.
So to answer your question, somebody's asking in the chat, what spreadsheet version are we on? It's 1.5 at the moment. It was released yesterday. And to answer your question, if we're talking about specifically about Black Swan Hedge, I will probably rather do a separate tab with all of the formulas for the Black Swan Hedge, and then keep that separately and not mix them with these naked puts here, because I think the Black Swan Hedge should be thought of and kept separate. And then in addition to that, there are different instruments, so we would then have to also separate those numbers by the instrument, because you might have 3 MES naked puts and then 2 ES, and that's not the same thing. It's the same thing. So
yes, of course.
But I hear you, and I will. It is my plan to add the Black Swan Hedge, kind of the Bobby's and Rombertino's version, and whoever else is doing it. That's or seems to be working fine for most people. So I'll be adding tab with formulas. I'll probably adjust it a little bit to make sure that it flows nicely the way I think it would be easier to use, but it'll be available.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem. Let me see. I think there's another question here. When you update the spreadsheet, is there an easy way to transfer out trades in place? Well, I think, Thomas, that what I try to do is keep all of the user data, user input data in this light blue color, right? Which is right here, and then I keep that consistent on all the pages. So the idea is when you make a new copy, you just take the whole thing like this, and you copy paste into the new sheet, which shouldn't be too hard unless you have a lot of trades already. And at that point, yes, it might be hard. I'm gonna have to reach out to see if somebody is a little bit more versed in automating or doing some script that would do that. I think I'm not sure if I can do it like that, but that's the idea. You basically copy paste just the light colored cells into the new spreadsheet. I wanted to just cover quickly what I have here in the portfolio just for the moment, and then we'll talk. Now this is the small hedge that I put on Friday, and we're going to talk more about that in the mastermind session on Friday. But that's basically the idea here is a rolling hedge at around 30 days that's rolled back weekly back to around 30 days and provides a little bit of intermediate step in a case of a pullback. It's not a full black swan hedge or anything like that. It's just meant to give us some breathing time and provide a little bit of cushion for the pullback. Then we have 4 of these trades here, and then what I do is I group them and I call them whatever I call them in the spreadsheet, so I know where they are. And then I also put a good GTC order. But this is one thing that I'm working on, looking for the maybe a solution to squeeze a little bit more money without increasing the risk. And but this is something I'm still working on, and I'm not 100% on board with that. What happens sometimes when the market is running up, I get to close a bunch of the naked puts early, and I lower the risk, of course, but then maybe I could extend a few of those past the 60% just until the next trade or until we reach whatever the limit is for the risk. Now, of course, we are then opening ourselves up for being a little bit more exposed if the market pulls back. But there's a trade-off, and I have to see if there is an incremental small gain that can be pulled out that way. And I'll update you if I decide to do that, and I'll put it in my mechanics. And then so that's on naked puts. We have 4 naked puts going on. That's an average for my account. And now, of course, we can go to 5 or even 6 on occasion, but we have to monitor our notional exposure and make sure that we don't go too far. We have a bunch of put debit spreads, and some of those we harvested, so we still have few of the naked long nakeds going on, and some are still here. And then we have our bill that's providing some extra income there. I think that's about it. If you found the video useful, please make sure you like and subscribe. If you want to join the Discord, the link is in the description below, and I think I'll see you on Friday or next Tuesday. Let's check when is my next trade, which I think it is meant to be on let's see, February the 6th, Tuesday, February the 6th. And this is obviously because we sold around the same amount that we were targeting for weeks. So the spreadsheet will automatically give me a week's time in between until next trade. All right, guys, have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will see you next time. Thank you.